From iWeather First, this is a tropical update. Good evening, everyone. You're watching iWeather First. I'm meteorologist Richie Pergolesi for tonight's tropical update. And here is the outlook. We're still looking at Hurricane Lee and Tropical Storm Margot. Here's the visible satellite. We can see the sun as it's dipping down over here. We can see these two storms are still here, and there might be a little disturbance off over here. But let's go ahead and talk about Tropical Storm Margot first. So Tropical Storm Margot here has not improved much throughout the night. It's been struggling with a lot of wind shear, as we can see here in the visible. Right as the sun passes through, you can see there's the low level center right there. So it's pushing it off here, which is preventing it from gathering any strength. However, the National Hurricane Center believes because the wind shear is going to go down a little bit, and because it's over a lot of warmer waters right now, it will intensify to a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 75 miles per hour. Looks like it's going to do that on Tuesday there. Right now it has winds of 45 miles per hour, still the same as it was earlier today. The track has moved, now it's northwest and moving a little bit slower at 9 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and talk about what's on everyone's mind, and that's Hurricane Lee. Here is the latest visible satellite imagery here. Very little has changed over the day today. However, you can notice that you can see it swirling right over here. However, there's a lot of wind shear here. That's why you don't see that many clouds right over here. And that's been causing it, kind of like choking it a little bit from getting all that warm moisture too, because it's actually been ingesting a lot of dry air here. We can see in the water vapor satellite imagery, these greens that you see here, that's the moisture from the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. It's not really as defined, and you can't even see the eye on the hurricane. When the hurricane hunters went through earlier, they did notice a very small eye, but when I was talking to you about yesterday about the cloud filling that was happening because of the wind shear, we can still see that. You can still see that pulsating going on in the eye wall here as it's trying to regenerate after it went through that eye wall replacement cycle, and it's actually been bumped down the hurricane. It's a little bit more weaker. But before we get into the track and the latest on it, I just wanted to show you these model runs. This is the GFS model run, and this is the next 5 days out. And we can see here, it's still gonna make that track and go up north. And part of the steering mechanisms here is the jet stream off to the west and the Bermuda high pressure here getting a little bit stronger. That way it'll pull it up and out this way. And Bermuda looks like Bermuda may be its target there. However, if we look at the European model, this is very interesting. As we advance the European model here, it keeps a more southerly. So before, it was a little bit north with the GFS and a little bit more southerly with the Euro model here. And you know, that's what's happening. After the next 3 days, it's gonna kind of split off a little bit. And that's what we see there. So this is a screenshot of the GFS model showing a more north-northeast position Thursday at noon. And then here's the Euro model, same time, but down a little bit. So there's a lot to go through with this storm here. We still don't know exactly where exactly it's going to end up right now. However, just stay tuned to iWeather First on YouTube, and we'll update you with our daily updates here on the storm and the tropics. Here's the latest on Hurricane Lee. It's a Category 3 hurricane with winds of 115 miles per hour. So it's been dying down a little bit, and it's actually been moving a little bit slower. Now it's west-northwest at 10. The pressure is bumped up a little bit to 958 millibars. However, the National Hurricane Center still believes that it has the ability to strengthen because the wind shear conditions are expected to weaken a little bit, becoming again a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 140 miles per hour by Tuesday, and then potentially either spinning itself out with another eye wall replacement or maybe some more wind shear here, bringing it back down to a Category 3 with winds of 115 miles per hour by Thursday. So here is the earliest arrival times on Hurricane Lee. We can see the North Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic. There's still a 5 to 10% chance of you experiencing these tropical storm force winds, which are winds of 39 miles per hour or greater. I do believe we have some webcams positioned out there, so as the storm gets a little bit closer here, we'll be able to give you a unique vantage point. And speaking about that, here's something that's really cool. So the National Data Buoy Center, or NDBC, has all these buoys here on the screen that you can see with these yellow and red diamonds. And actually, Hurricane Lee passed by 75 miles south of this buoy. This is buoy 41044, and this is actually a picture of this buoy, and it took a really cool picture earlier today. This is a 360-degree panoramic view of what it was seeing, and you can see all those waves that surge here with the system that it's been kicking up here, and it's recorded peak 1 minute sustained winds. Looks like it recorded a 54 mile per hour winds sustained over a minute, and then a gust of 66 miles per hour. And this is 75 miles south from the center of the storm. So that's telling us that the winds are starting to go out a little bit more from the storm as it's getting stronger here. Here's actually a little bit closer shot. Wow, look at these waves. That is such a unique perspective. That is really cool. All right, speaking of, let's go ahead and talk about the forecasted wave heights. Here's the Euro model, and this is as it sits right now. So the northern Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, and eventually Bermuda will get in on these wave heights over the next couple of days, and the East Coast as well. Parts of Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina may experience some waves there as well. And that is the latest on the tropics. So let's go ahead and bring it back home. Here's your 7-day forecast from iWeather1st. As we get into the rest of the weekend on Sunday, it looks to be really nice with a 20% chance of rain, high 92, low 80. And as we get in through the week, I turn those rain chances down just a little bit more because that trough of low pressure that was going to develop over Florida is showing signs now. It's not going to be as strong as we once thought. So that is the latest on there. And thank you so much for watching iWeather1st. I'm meteorologist Richie Pergolese. Have a great night.